Alright guys, and welcome back to class. So in this class we'll be learning how to draft an overbust corset and how to tie it to an inbuilt corset. Now I have my basic bodice, both the front and the back, the full scale. If you still don't know how to draft a full scale bodice, kindly check the channel for a full video on how to draft this. So I'm going to draft out my basic, but I'm just going to go ahead and label it so we don't actually get confused by the line. So this line here now is the chest line. I have my bust point, I have my under bust, and of course I have my front half length, and then I have my corset length. Now for the corset length now, length of your corset shouldn't be too long. Remember, your comfortability or that of your client is paramount. So when you're actually making a corset from the waistline, you want to come down by 4 or 5 inches. 4 to 5. You can also measure it on your client. 4 to 5 inches is actually okay. This would enable you to sit well when you actually go to a party and you're rocking your corset dress. So this is the chest line for the back half length, and the corset length for the back. The difference between my front and my back is 2 inches, which I actually put in as the waist measure as well as the bust dart. So let's get straight into business. Now, if you notice that my dart leg, I actually didn't highlight it in blue because this is a temporary line. Now, for this kind of corset, I actually want the back shape that I want my bone channels to be in division. So what I would do now is I'm just on this my waistline or my corset length, I am going to mark 2 inches. So by the time I actually open, remember this is the front is going to be on fold. By the time I open it up, it's going to be 4 inches. You can also do 1.5. By the time you open, it's going to be 3 inches. This is optional. If you don't want the back shape or the V shape, you want to retain the straight shape, you can actually do this. So on my corset length, I actually measured 2 inches, which I am going to connect to the bust point like this. So this becomes my new dart leg. This is going to serve as my bone line. So I'm just going to erase or wipe this off with an eraser. That means we actually made it a temporary line. So this is it. So you can actually have your dart leg as any shape you want instead of the normal straight boring shape. So I actually made this slanted. Now, on my half length now, because I actually have 0.75 as my dart, which is 1.5, I'm going to take it on the waistline. So I have 0.75 here and then 0.75 here, which I will then connect to the bust point like so. Can you see? And then I'll connect it to the M. I'm just bringing it down so you actually get to see this like this. So can you see? So I have my new dart leg. The only difference is that this is slanted and not the regular straight dart. Now after that, the next thing for you to do is to get your shoulder dart. And to do that, I'll be dividing our shoulder slope into two. So, and then I'll connect it to my bust point like so. I hope you can actually see. Let me use a marker to highlight this so you get. So this is it here. This is my shoulder dart. And then after doing that now, you come back to your underbust. For the underbust now, you need to tighten the underbust. So for my underbust now, I'm going to be tightening my underbust. You have to use your own accurate measurement to tighten the underbust here. To do that, you can actually use your underbust circumference divided by 4, and then whatever you have, you input it in. And then I'm going to connect this other side too. Like this. Then what I have left now, I'm using the curved part of my ruler to connect this into my waistline. Can you see? Like that. So I'm connecting it like this. I pick the same thing for this other side too, using the curved part of my pattern, sorry, or my ruler. Let me just say the curved part of the ruler. Yes, please. I'm connecting it like this, and then I'll just highlight the dart all the way to the hem here, like this. So all these are actually excesses at the under bust that I've taken out. Now the next thing for us to do is to do our 25% tightening. So I'm just going to slash this part opened, as you can see, all the way to the half length, and then I'll be slashing my shoulder dart opened. Please note, we have the 25, we have the 50, we have the 75, we have the 100. So it all depends on what you are working with. But because I'm actually working with an overbust corset with a scoop neckline, which is actually does not have a yoke, like an off the shoulder bust, off the shoulder. So that's why I'm going to be doing the 25%. So I'm just going to go ahead and close my dart, my bust dart like this. And then I would blend this side up. It's very important you do that to actually avoid shortage. So I'm going to blend this side up like this. Now, because I've transferred my bust dart to the shoulder dart, I have a lot at the shoulder now. So I'm going to measure what I have here, like so. And then whatever I have, I'm going to be dividing it into 4 because it is 25. But if it is 50, you divide it into 2. So what I have here now, I'll mark it on this side of the shoulder, and then whatever I have again, I would mark it on this side of the shoulder. Remember I said when you're doing your 25% tightening, it's just more or less like a give and take. So I'm going to close this up now. Then I'll come to this side, and then we measure by 1.5 shoulder slant to avoid tightening at the armhole area. So once I have this now, let me just use a different color of marker so you do not get confused. So this is my new shoulder slant, like this. And of course, I'm going to connect this to the bust point, like so. Can you see? And then this other side now, I will be connecting it. That becomes our new arm's eye. Can you see? I'm connecting it, becomes the new arm's eye here. You need to do that. If not, you'll experience shortage when you are sewing. So this becomes our new arm's eye. This new marker becomes the new arm's eye. After I'm done now, to further finish our 25% tightening, I'll be closing my bust dart again, like so. You should have closed it. And then whatever I have, now at this point now, you need to input in your, before you close your bust dart, you need to input in your overbust measurement. Now how do you actually get your overbust measurement? To get the overbust measurement now, you can go ahead and measure from the bust point to the upper part of the bust, as the overbust, or you just use the standard. You can do 4 inches from the bust point upward, or 3.5. It all depends on you. So for me, I would like to use 4 inches. I can even use 3.5. It all depends on you. So I'm going to mark my 3.5 like so. So this becomes the overbust. Another way of getting the overbust is to actually use your bust span. Whatever you have now, you just go ahead and mark it across. So it will give you your accurate, like this, like as if you are forming a circle. It will give you your accurate overbust measurement. So for me, I actually use 3.5. You can use yours as 4 inches. It all depends. So now I'm going to come to the overbust now. I measure whatever I have here now. I'm going to be putting it back here, which becomes my overbust tightening. So like this now, I've gone ahead to tighten the overbust, like so. Can you see? I've tightened, and if you are worried, oh, what I've taken isn't it too much. Remember, you've added it back here, so you don't need to worry. So after that, now the next thing for me to do is to draw out my neckline. So to draw out my neckline now, I would have to close my overbust like this, my overbust tightening. Actually, I'm just trying to close it like this. Now, we have our scoop neckline. We are trying to make a scoop neckline. So what I will do is now from this overbust now, you can also do from the armhole. From the overbust, I will be coming up by 1.5 inches. From my neck, I would mark my cleavage. So I can do 6 inches or even 5.5. It all depends. So I'm going to close this like this. Just trying to close it because I don't want to cut off my bust dart yet, like this. And then using my curve, I would connect it. So depending on how you want it, just go ahead and connect it like this. Okay, so if you want it revealing, it's up to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect it like this. So with this now, we've actually gotten our scoop neckline like so. Now the last thing we are going to do here now is to go ahead and snatch our waist here. Now to snatch our waist now, whatever I have left on this waistline, I'm going to be dividing it into two. That's from this dark leg to the waistline, dividing it into two like so. And if you want it slanted, all you just need to do is to connect it like so. Okay, so like this. And then I'll be taking out 0.5 on both sides of the dart leg, 0.5, 0.5, and then I would connect it to my underbust. Please, I'm connecting to the underbust though, like this, and then I'll connect it to the corset length, like this. So I have this here, I have this here, and then this, and then this here too. So these are excesses I am taking out, which is going to snatch my waist, as you can see. Now for the back now, what I'll be doing is depending on how many um bone channels or bone lines or seam lines I want, I'll be dividing it. So here now I'm just going to divide it into three, like so. So from here into three now, I'll just do 2.5 here, then I'll come here, measure what I have left here, and another 2.5. And if you want it straight, you can make it straight. If you want it slanted, you can make it slanted. So I'm just rolling out my lines like this. I have this here now. And next thing for me to do is to determine the back neckline. So what I'm going to do is from my chest line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch and then connect it into the arm's eye like so. So just follow the green marker. So I'm connecting it into the arm's eye like this, as you can see. Now, because I actually snatched, I took out 0.5 from the front. I will be doing 0.25 here, 0.25 here, and then 0.25 here, 0.25 here, which I'll be connecting like this. Okay, so at the end of the day, I actually went ahead to snatch. I removed 1 inch. When you calculate 1 inch in four places, that's like 4 inches that I took out from my waist, which I believe it is okay for me, like this. And then from this side now, I'm just going to mark in half inch like this, or 1 inch. So from the chest line now, I'll be coming in by 1 inch, and then on the hem, I'll be doing half inch because I actually want my back to close. If you don't want your back to close, you can do more than it. So I'm connecting it like this. So this part is going to be for the eyelet, as you can see, like this. It's going to be for the eyelet. And we are going to have our, this is the CB, the mid back, and then the SB. So you need to label it so you actually do not get confused, like this. And arrow to indicate the upper part. Now for this side now, the next thing for me to do is to go ahead and close up my bust dart. I'm going to tape it down because we are done, as you can see, like this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And then I would also go ahead to label. This is my CF, my mid front, and then the side front. So this is 1, 2, and 3. So the next thing for me to do now is to cut it out. All right, so this is our complete pattern set, and this is going to be an inbuilt corset. I'm making this as an inbuilt corset, but if you don't want an inbuilt corset, all you just need to do is to draw out your style and probably come down by your waist shaping by 3 inches from the waist, and then connect it straight. Repeat the same thing for the back, and then you attach it to the skirt. But I want this as an inbuilt because which is the main reason why I actually made this like this. So if you actually enjoyed this tutorial, kindly give us a thumbs up. You can actually ask your questions in the comment section down below. So I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye guys.